No face reveal today, sadly. I don't know if y'all were expecting that. You'll be getting this janky ass VTuber avatar. It just follows me around. I also blink, and the lip sync's gonna be a bit janky because it's sort of auto generated. So what are we doing today? Well, we are going to be looking at some of my old shit, looking at some of my old videos. Namely, my last video from 5 years ago, debunking every anti-communist argument ever. Was every argument debunked? Was it done successfully? Who knows? Some people think it wasn't. Some people think it was. No, this shit is so crazy because like, holy fuck, 5 years ago. Like, look at this shit. 5 years ago, and I just came back. That's half a decade. I've been really surprised, quite frankly, with how this video has performed over the years. Like, I just put this shit out, and it's almost at like 2 million. And I've gotten a lot of messages saying, "Oh, this video turned me to communism, turned me to Marxism, Leninism, and radicalized me, and began sort of that process." So, I mean, that's a big burden, guys. I mean, all right. Without further ado, let's get started on watching my old shit. What are you watching? My old videos, big brain shit. Left anti-communism is really, really a fantastic essay. I think it's like the third chapter of Black Shirts and Reds. Like, a lot of my book is really built on a lot of what Parenti wrote. So absolutely read that essay. Fantastic. Okay, you need to move around to sell the VTuber thing. Sorry, I was like, should I have big titties? I was like, should I have a VTuber with big titties? And like have it bounce around? I'm like, no. I'll just stick with the usual thing. I feel like if I did like a weird an anime shit, people would be like, what the hell is wrong with you? Hey guys. There we go. Starting with Stalin and his mustache. I was like, who should I put as the first character? And I was like, you know, if people can't make it through the first character of Stalin, I really don't think this video is going to be for them. So I was like, might as well weed people out with the first one. Reference to how the Social Democrats killed Rosa Luxemburg. May she be avenged, for real. I love this one because it's just a shitty pun. Capitalism? I don't know. This is one of my favorite jokes, low-key, guys. It's one of my favorite jokes. I'm like, you know, this one was a banger. This one was a banger. And, you know, if you're tired of me jerking myself off, I mean, you should have been beware from the thumbnail. You know, what are you watching my own videos? So I will be praising myself a lot here. Sorry, guys.
We still need communism.
I don't know what happened to this guy. Last I heard, he was a libertarian now. So, rip in chat.
Suffer from the noxious greed of Mr.
God damn, some of these memes were dated. Like the Pingu. I don't know if y'all remember Pingu, but like Pingu makes Stalin look like an anarchist. That was like an old artful communism meme. And the Squidward protecting the gentle labor thing, so old. I mean, that was even before it was quarantined as a subreddit. Yes, I did expose myself as a redditor. Sadly, I'm sorry, everyone. I apologize. Jeb. This is the number one indicator that this shit is dated, because it's like, who the fuck remembers Jeb other than him getting owned back in 2016? He was George Bush's brother. He was like governor of Florida, fail son. He flopped as a presidential candidate for the Republicans in 20. God damn, I feel old. Jesus, I'm unk.
If you're a hardline Marxist Leninist or Rosa backstabbing, suck them.
So. One, this is weird. Like my little avatar right under my avatar. This is just bizarre. Also, I love how you can see like I changed my hair and my glasses, so that's fantastic. But then like the first few sentences are like so chronically online. It's so chronically online. If you're a hardline Marxist Leninist or a Rosa backstabbing suck, I have no clue why I made these the first sentence of the official video. So. I guess I was just a chronically online left-winger back then.
Just a constant barrage of Venezuela, Animal Farm, and human nature. Just a...
Okay, so pro tip for people who are watching my videos: the comma and period keys allow you to move frame by frame. So if you see something you want to pause, or see a meme that you're like, what the fuck just happened? I put a lot of these like frame specific references in my videos. Venice Walla, And then let's see. Animal fart. Home in nature. Ligma. Guys, is Ligma still dated? I mean, that's why I was gone for 5 years. I died of Ligma.
Are getting hit with the Venezuela line, which shows just how far right everything has gone. If you're one of those people...
Okay, that was another... This was a great frame meme. Here's one word piece of advice for America's growing socialist left. Despacito. And then she's dabbing. OMG, Fortnite AOC, Yas Queen. See, this is why you need to pay attention to every frame. You know, every frame is a painting, guys. This is what it means to be an animator. You know, every frame is a painting. You know, I spent hours on this.
That Kanban helicopters, how Vladimir Stalin killed 100...
Okay, this is one I don't think anyone's seen, but it says party rockers in the house tonight. Banger. Fucking banger. I love this trap remix. Like, it's such a fucking good remix. Is BuzzFeed still a thing, guys? They used to be like the millennial outlet, but like now it's just like Jubilee posting slop and like what Mr. Beast, I guess, is the big things now. Like, goddamn.
Than anything else.
Alright, so this is another thing. But the background is gonna keep changing this whole section. So it's like government bad and it's like a snake, but like it's gonna become increasingly worse as the section goes on.
Following this logic.
Okay, that's another frame specific reference. What was it? What the fuck did I put here? Holy shit! I don't know if I'm allowed to read that. Wow, I'm just gonna skip over this. Okay, this section breaks my brain. This part is so funny to watch because like watching it back, because the drawings get progressively worse because I'm so fucking lazy. I'm so fucking lazy with art and drawing. So like let me replay this 5 seconds back, guys.
Welfare.
Okay, so that's libraries, that's social security.
Removal, street light.
The image for garbage removal is just a garbage bag with me.
Policemen, the military, the CIA.
And then it's a pig with a police outfit. And I love how the U.S. Army thing says, "My girlfriend's husband fights for your freedom." Yeah, that was just a grammatical mistake on my part. Oopsies.
Military, the CIA.
Like, look how fucking lazy this shit is. I did not even try for this. Central Intelligence Agency, parentheses, terrorists, United States. But wait, did I spell it with Maoist standard English? Let me check. Yes, United Snakes of America. I'm so glad that meme hasn't died out, guys.
CIA, FBI.
And look how lazy the FBI one was. Fabulously big individuals. And then it's an arrow pointing to a stick figure that says, "Not Ben Shapiro." Because he's short, that's the joke. Marxism, Leninism, Chenkism. You know, isn't that crazy that his like nephew is Hassan? Like, isn't that wild? You know, you'd be surprised. I get surprisingly little hate. A lot of it just comes from Nazis. You know, but I think a lot of right wingers just see like I'm joking around and being very unserious, and like they chill the fuck out. You know, if I were like playing a straight face on this shit, you know, absolutely, I'd probably be doxxed. Like my whole pics would probably be out there right now.
But technically, the United States already has socialist.
So y'all, I think someone asked Fortnite if I fuck with Fortnite. Come on, guys, there's like a billion Fortnite references here. This was 2020, back when Fortnite was more popular. Okay, this is the thing I was talking about with the background. You know, now it's just like a line with "don't." You know, so that's a reference for the deep cuts people to pick up. I think I got a lot of these definitions from Azure Scapegoat's old website. I think it was like socialism101.com. I think I actually linked it in the description. But like if you're wondering like where I got the text of this, a lot of this was just adapted from that website. I don't know if it still exists. Hey guys, look, new background. Anyway, back to the video. Why don't you pick a cute little ghost as a mascot? Yes, this is deep cut. I don't think I've ever told anyone this. I originally wasn't going to have an avatar of myself be the avatar for this channel. Was originally going to be like a little ghost thing in the corner instead of me. But then I realized like I can't really do much with a ghost. You know, I don't have hands to move around. It's not very expressive. Like I guess I could put eyebrows on a ghost, but it kind of looks weird. So I was like, you know, might as well like just draw myself and just, you know, but I wanted to keep the ghost thing because I already spent so much time on it. So I just like, how does the icon, and you know, like the name of the channel is Spooky Scary Socialist. So I'm like, It matches the vibe. Ghosts could have arms. They could have arms, but I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know, and it's better to have a more human avatar. I think, I think it reaches out more to an audience than just having like a weird ass ghost or some shit. When you do this shit, you're like, what the fuck do I put on screen? When you're making videos, like, what the hell do I put on screen? And you have to do that for every second of a video and script. And so for this one, I was struggling. So let's see, this pink one right here. She's like a dancer. Then we got a painter. Then green stick figure has a Shrek fanfiction. Shrek all ogre my body. Then we have a yellow one who's just dabbing. Is dabbing still cool? It's not cool. I know it's a dated reference, guys. This was 5 years ago. I've said that like 15 times. And then we'll have the white stick figure. It just has glasses.
There was a flourishing of art, culture, and creativity. The futurist movement, legalization of divorce for women, and the growth of cinema were exciting developments compared to the Tsar's regime over the masses of...
What the fuck was this? Can I be so real with you? Why did I think this thing took like 1 day or 2 days to make. I was like, why the hell did I spend so much time on this like little transition? It's the thing with making videos. It's like, sometimes I just feel like making fancy looking shit. This is like the cartoon of Lenin sweeping off the old powers. This video, so it took 2 years to make. So I don't know how deep cut y'all are into the spooky scary socialist lore, right? But I made my Stalin video, then I took a 2-year hiatus, then I released this video, the anti-communism video. So this was a 2-year gap. And so like, I pick it back up and I'm like, I wanna put more effort into this. So this was one of the moments where like I just picked up the video again and just decided to go hard for no reason.
Disasters that are literally killing them and destroying.
See, that's the thing, is if I put a lot of effort into like one 10-second clip, like I put very little effort on the next one. Like this should be so real. It's like a house on an island getting like flooded. It's so lazy.
I've already dealt with the topic of death counts.
This is low-key my favorite background, because I don't know if y'all caught this, right? The talking point is, 1 bajillion dead, and the background is like 1, and then it's a bunch of zeros in different fonts. I don't know if y'all caught that. But that's one of my favorite backgrounds. I still think back on this background fondly. I'm like, this was a really clever background. Like, a lot of the humor of my jokes is in the backgrounds, and I spent a lot of time on backgrounds. Low-key, the reason I changed my background so much and I give a fuck about backgrounds, I don't know if y'all remember, or if y'all are even into the animated Storytime community, but like there was like a whole drama in Storytime animated YouTubers who were like, oh my god, these people, like the Odd Ones Out G animations, they're lazy with their animations. They don't do backgrounds. They're fucking pieces of shit. And I'm like, I'm not a Storytime animator. I do political content. But a lot of the form very much is inspired by them. So I'm like, I should do backgrounds, and I think it's a good transition. It takes a lot more work, but I think taking the time to just do goofy backgrounds or even just this lazy gradient helps boost production quality a little bit.
Concerning Stalin in a previous video. Needless to say.
Okay, I don't know why it's not popping up, but it should pop. Oh yes, here it is. Okay, so if you want to watch the old Stalin video, by the way, it's right here. It is unlisted. Oh shit, I accidentally clicked on it. So multiple people have asked about the Stalin thing, and I answered it multiple times. But like, if you want a full answer, I have it in the pinned comment here. I use copyrighted music. Like, if you watch it, like the first minute is cut.
Later.
Like, look at that shit. That's so annoying. It's so annoying. They butchered my child. They killed my baby. That's why I enlisted it. That shit's so embarrassing. Also, yeah. Look, I was talking about backgrounds. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Look at this. It's a white background. Yes, I will remake it, though. So we will get back to that. Let's get back to the main video, though. This is next stream. This is next month's stream. So tune in, subscribe, click that bell, tune into the second channel. This is a great paper. I mean, J. Arch Getty is a bourgeois historian, but he does some good stuff. I just learned, by the way, guys, this is crazy. Getty died like a few months ago. Right. The funny part about this section is, For some reason in the script, I put a big black book of communism, but then when I was like putting the image into Adobe Animate, it turns out big isn't in the title. I just fucked that up for some reason. I just put the big black book of communism. Like, I don't know why I made that mistake. I just think it just bounced off the tongue. Jesus, look at that. Look at that. Look at them dogs. This is where I put copyrighted music. You know, so I had to like cut the audio really weird in YouTube editor or whatever. That's why it sounds weird.
Country, another victim.
I think the song was supposed to be In the Arms of an Angel. It's like the sad puppy song. Oh, and Peter Griffin. Who can I don't know why Peter Griffin's here. You know? Sometimes I'm just like, I'm just gonna put some random shit here. Just want you to know I know more about Vor. Oh my god. The Vor jokes. We haven't even gotten to them. And they're already getting mentioned. Okay. The reason why I think I have 2 back-to-back Vor jokes in this video. And the reason I have those jokes is because I was moving a lot of arguments around, and so originally the Vor jokes were supposed to be spaced out, but then eventually for some reason they like just got put adjacent to each other. So there's 2 Vor jokes in a row. And I don't even know what to say to that. It says, OMG, communism killed 1,000 trillion people. What about human nature, though? And I shitted and farted my pants. Animals. It's been a while since I read Animal Farm, guys. That's been almost a decade. How mature. It's been almost a decade since I read it. I do wanna point your eyes to Thoughtsky. You know, I think that's a great pun. I know that you think capitalism is bad and all, but have you ever read this funny little book called Animal Farm by a man named George Orwell? Silly commies. Don't you know that a revolution will always fail because the pigs in the novel, they get like superpower hungry, and they're just as bad as the humans. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. I totally remember that. Now I'm just gonna parrot it to all those silly commies on the internet who want to survive climate change. Okay, friend, let me explain to you. Okay, wait, no, I'm gonna stop reading this. Wow, destiny moment. Okay, I'm gonna cut out myself off from the rest of that copy post. Oh yes, I re-recorded this section. So deep lore. This video took 2 years to make, and the original argument I was gonna make was George Orwell was a socialist, so you know the book isn't even an argument against socialism. I think Hakeem released a video on George Orwell, and he took the more, you know, ML friendly route of being like, you know, Orwell's kind of a snitch and, you know, a loser and a little bitch ass boy. And so I went in and re-recorded this. I'm like, you know, I guess I should care more about talking about that. You know, I think there's a battle between simplifying things for normies and standing with your ideological position. And yeah, I don't fuck with Orwell that much. I mean, read his stuff. Absolutely, read his stuff. No food? No food.
The fact that communist countries had famines is...
This is another artful background that I want to draw your attention to. I think it's only visible in the video for like 20 seconds. But like, look at this shit. Appreciate this background, guys. Like, look at this background. The background is like a Minecraft, and its hunger bar is low. But the background is Fortnite, and like the joke is that they're not the same video game. By the way, this is like maybe the 3rd or 4th Fortnite joke. That's a big point people like to miss, is that like after the big famines in a lot of these countries, you know, outside of war, they like achieved food security, right? And like keep in mind, like China and the Soviet Union, well, I guess Russia, the Russian Empire had huge famines like every century, with like astounding death tolls. Like tens of millions would die every century in Imperial China and Imperial Russia. And then, you know, the Soviet Union and Mao's China came along. They did have a famine, but then after that they had food security. You know, there hasn't been a big famine since. I think people tend to overlook that. They have a very short historical view on a lot of these topics, right? I mean, that's not to say the famines are good. You know, I mean, famines are always bad. Right, but I think the talking point is overplayed. The study's fine. Like I fully stand with the methodology. Like it's absolutely fair. Like you should not compare Cuba to the fucking United States in terms of economic development, right? Like one, the United States has a huge amount of fucking land. It's like built on settler colonialism and slave labor, and like has like incredible capital accumulation from that. And also it didn't suffer through a dictatorship like the Batistas. The methodology of the study is fine. I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous to look at that methodology and be like, not fair, not fair. But I think one of the response videos, and maybe I'll do that in a later stream. One of the response videos was like, if you're citing the CIA also says communism is bad. So, by your own admission, communism is bad. Girl, be so fucking for real. Be so fucking for real. Be so fucking for real.
Acknowledge that America. Hey, it's my turn. Oh, okay, here you go. Open wide. Or.
Oh my god, this is so... I don't know why I put so many Vor jokes. I don't even think it was a 2020 thing. I just thought Vor was really funny at the time, and so I just put 2 Vor jokes, and they happened to go back to back when I was rearranging the script. I will point your attention to the background of this. Let's see, there's a brain force pill, there's a logic hammer, and there's a portrait of Stalin. I don't know why I put Stalin there. Why the fuck did I make the toothbrush a person? You know, I think it's a hilarious joke. I think the joke is funny, although there will be multiple Vor jokes.
There are things used to make more money and give power to those.
See, why did I put Garfield Vor fan art in both personal property and private? I don't...
Putting that...
What the fuck? What the fuck is this?
them to the hand.
You know, I'm just like, do people who aren't extremely online just watch this shit and they're like, what the fuck is going on, guys?
Hands of the
Someone needs to explain what Vor is. I'm not doing that. Not on this. Oh my god, it's fucking bizarre. Me talking about myself. Whoa, who is this guy? I don't fuck with him at all. He's weird. He makes off-putting jokes. What the hell? You know, I don't know if people were expecting me to talk more about the content of the video than like the off-putting jokes I make. I don't know what people were expecting with this live stream. I love this little brain guy who like pops up every once in a while. You know, I was gonna like animate his horse legs, but I was like, I feel like that's way too much fucking effort for like a 3-second joke, so I didn't do it. And I just put a sound effect instead, and you know what? I think it worked out. Okay, socialism equals common ownership of the means of production, factories, offices, etc., and putting women into video games. Yes, 100%.
backward semi-feudal country to a world superpower. If you're looking for innovation,
I love these one-frame jokes. Like, once again, what the fuck was this joke? I don't even know why I put this. It's just like, you know, you think it's gonna be the Soviet Union, and then it's just like buff Jar Jar Binks, and it's Misa Likey. Misa Likey. George Lucas, infamous Marxist-Leninist Maoist.
People.
Once again, guys, background time. That's the time, guys. So the section's on human nature, and the background is, you know, a human evolving, and it becomes Sonic. You know, actually, I think the reference is there's a reference to Thought Slime. I think Thought Slime did some sort of joke related to this, and I just copied it. I can't remember. Bring back a brain guy, please. I might. My thing is like, I would love to have weird lore characters in my videos. Like have an underlying story that's like beneath a political commentary. I think that would be really fun, you know. But I don't know if people fuck with that. And also, some of the topics I deal with are really serious. And like the reason I didn't bring Brain Guy back for my my anti-Zionism videos, like I just feel like this is too serious to bring back Big Brain Wojak guy.
since it's difficult.
Proles Pod reference, the background's a Proles Pod reference, guys. Remember when they existed? I guess they kind of do now, but like they don't exist in the same way.
Why do you own an iPhone and a Karl Marx body pillow? Hey, insult me, but leave him out of it. Don't worry, Carl. The boys are gone.
This is... I pause it on the right frame when it says "Thank you, baby," and it's just a Karl Marx body pillow. I wish that existed. Someone should sell that as merch for real. They'd get They'd get so much money from that. You socialists want to change society, yet we live in a society. Bottom text.
That therefore socialists are hypocrites.
Social tits are hypocrites.
Not to mention that capitalism doesn't make anything, labor does. Capitalism is socialism.
Crapitalism. It's just a bunch of stick figures holding poop emojis.
Only determine who has control over the means of production and gets paid.
Versus so coolism, everyone has Karl Marx body pillows. Evidence for horseshoe theory. Violence? National Socialist. And of course, poo-poo pee-pee. I'm gonna be so real with y'all. I try to put at least one poo-poo pee-pee reference in every video. I don't know if y'all have caught it, but I do. That's my tradition. One poo-poo pee-pee. That's my quota. That's my DEI. I DEI poo-poo pee-pee into each video. Yeah, I censored swastikas because I think like Germany and some other countries are very strict on showing Nazi symbology. Okay, so with this section, I don't know, I reflect back on it, and I ended with a little bit of a flippant reference to fishhook theory. And I don't know, I think obviously the Marxist view of ideology is, base superstructure, right? And Halim Al-Ra used to have a really good video on this, and I recommend people to watch it because Halim responds to like the political compass memes and horseshoe theory and even fishhook theory, and argues, for the Marxist view of ideology, which, base superstructure. And, I think that is the correct way to understand ideology. But I mean, this is like a very simple video for a general audience. So I think like getting into the nitty gritty of base superstructure and, how they reinforce one another might be a little too much.
Communism only works on paper. It's a good thing I live in paper. Anyway, these...
Yeah. Cringe. Fucking cringe. even at that point, I think dabbing jokes were dated, and they're super fucking dated now. And it's like, really, guy, like, I really thought I ate here. Like, girl thought he ate with the dabbing joke and like the cutting myself out on paper joke. This took like an hour, by the way. I actually had to print this shit out and like cut it and put it on my desk. And like, Adobe Animate is the shittiest fucking animation software, because this shit was like making the whole software lag by importing so many fucking fucking images. It actually was such a stupid. I should have cut it. By the way, I want to bring your mind to this joke. This joke here, it's like I'm mushing all the arguments together, and then they get mushed together, and then it becomes this horrific fucking blob that says "kill me." I think that's a good joke. I still think back on that, and I'm like, that's a great joke.
Them together into the same section. The idea that communism is inherently authoritarian.
I love this because sometimes I record the audio and I fuck up pronouncing shit, and I'm so lazy to re-record that I just make it a joke. So in this section, I pronounced communism as communism, which is like Jesus. And so I just like put communism right there. So if people say you mispronounced it, I'm like, I know, baby.
The Spartacist uprising in Germany was suppressed by the Suckdems with fascist paramilitary.
Suckdems. Do people still say that shit? Now go and stop all those dumb cummies, son.
From threatening.
But like, look, little stick figure Hitler, and he turns into Ahegao Hitler. So great frame. Like, the video is very introductory, right? It's a bit wishy-washy. Like, if you want a very clear ideological line from this video, you're not gonna get it, right? Like, it's Marxist-Leninist friendly, right? But like, I don't it's very much responding to arguments rather than it is for building for arguments. So I don't think the video has a particular line it is defending, and that's kind of the point, right? I mean, it's very like 101 type situation.
The answer is never, because no matter what communist states do, it's always spun to be bad. This is not an argument.
So this frame joke is and I also did this in the Cuban Missile Crisis video, is it's reference to Stefan Molyneux. I don't know if y'all remember that. He was an old bread tube character. basically like a proto-fascist masquerading as a mainstream libertarian. And like his big talking point was, this is not an argument. He was just a big character back in the day. The problem is, he just became so fascist that he got banned off YouTube. So now no one fucking gets the reference.
The idea goes that communist governments are oppressive and that the poor and downtrodden are prevented from...
You must put women and minorities and gays in your video games.
You're actually curious about democracies under...
Great video. Fantastic video. Highly recommend that.
The US supported...
I love how, like, you can tell when I just did not give a fuck about drawing. Because I'm, like, not even gonna try drawing him because he doesn't deserve it. Like, I was just so tired. I was like, should I bother? And I'm like, no. Russians. Russia. Isn't it crazy that guy's show got canceled? Holy fuck, it's so funny. Like, it's actually kind of fucking hilarious his show got canceled. And for what? I mean, he was just a fucking shitty lib. Colbert was literally just a shitty fucking liberal. And Trump was like, That mean. That hurt my fifis. That hurt my fifis. You cancel. Skibbity Biden. Oh my god, don't even remind me about that nightmare. You should be thankful I didn't put any skibbity toilet jokes in any of my videos, because
this virtue signaling about political rights from capitalists goes away when the people themselves want communism back.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Why did I put a villager sound effect? And the thinking emoji. It's like, what did he mean by this? I don't know. I was a different man. I was a different man back then. I don't know if y'all ever noticed this background, but it's, the textbook. It's just Basic Economics by Hugh Janus. Yeah, I love potty humor. I think my bread and butter is really potty humor. And yeah, I mean, like, I think it's such a big point people skip over, right? Is like, the Soviets and the Eastern Bloc, as much as I may not ideologically agree with them, I mean, they were dealt shitty fucking hands, right? I mean, the Soviet Union was fucked over by decades of civil war. It had to go through a very chaotic collectivization process to industrialize, and then it was once again ravaged again by World War II. And then after that, it somehow had to lead, like, a fucking counter-faction against the imperialist camp for, like, the rest of the Cold War. I mean, like, the Soviets were really fucked over. And compared to the United States, that was, like, barely even touched by World War II. And, they were just able to, through the Marshall Plan, just able to buoy and enrich a lot of these sort of destroyed Western European countries. Well, the destroyed Soviet Union really wasn't able to do that. I think one of their biggest mistakes, actually, was extracting from East Germany. They weren't really able to rebuild East Germany to be a prosperous society because the first couple of years were just extracting fucking reparations from them for the war. So, I mean, it wasn't an even playing field, right? The Cold War just was not an even playing field. And it really is, miraculous that they were even able to survive until, like, 89, 91?
Called the grocery store, and you actually have to pay for the bread, and those who can't afford it just starve to death. Those commies sure are oppressive by handing out free food, huh?
I don't know, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think a lot about this point, and I think it's kind of cringe. I just think it's kind of cringe. I mean, grocery line stores and bread lines kind of aren't the same. Thomas Sowell as a meme to one of my... Thing is, I have been planning to do a part 2 to the video. Like, so the thing is with this video is, like, it got into a lot of weird anarcho-capitalist subreddits. Like, a lot of weird libertarian circles somehow got a hold of this video, and they were, like, complaining, being like, actually, you didn't address the economic calculation problem. Excuse me, Mr. Spooky. You didn't address, this very obscure argument brought by the Austrian School of Economics. Have you considered the labor theory of value isn't, legitimate versus, the subjective theory of value, or some random bullshit? And I'm just like, girl, be so fucking for real. Be unlimited fucking for real. Like, these libertarians are like, the video is very clearly made to be introductory. Why the fuck am I gonna take normies and just be like, yeah, guys, so the labor theory of value is actually valid because blah, 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 blah. Who the fuck is gonna listen to that? And, like, look, I'm not opposed to doing that in a part 2, And I've actually written a little bit of a script for part 2, although that's not on the short list. That is not on the short list. It's on the long list. Yes, I'm doing a Disney, guys. I'm doing sequels now. Sequels to videos. I have 3 videos, and, you know, I already have sequels planned out to all of them, you know? But I'm like, these fucking ANCAPs need to get a fucking grip on reality. You know, you walk up to any random person, and you're like, why does communism suck? Why is it bad? And they're gonna say some shit like human nature, or it's always leads to dictatorship, or some random bullshit.
Sure, maybe these communist countries achieved all these great things, but doesn't the fall of these countries prove that, in the end, communism just...
Okay, so if you're wondering, why the fuck does violin music just come in mid-sentence and interrupt me? YouTube copyright, guys. I put some copyrighted music here, and YouTube fucked me in the ass, and they fucked this video up. But you know what? I was like, it's such a minor cut. I don't think people give a fuck. Red, 30 years ago. Guys, I miss the Soviet Union.
like healthcare, education for free, full employment, rough income inequality, and inexpensive housing with a reliably growing economy.
And like, yeah, absolutely. Like people, like it differs from country to country. And like, that's the big limitation, I think, with the video, right? Is that, I'm talking in very broad strokes here, right? I mean, communism is a very broad ideology encompassing so many countries, so many states, so many projects, so many movements.
Former GDR Minister Heinz Kessler said, "Sure, I heard about
Bussy Destroyer? What the fuck? The last few talking points have pretty much been taken from Parenti's Black Shirts and Reds. Read it. I reference it a lot in the video, but read it if you haven't. It's like 150 pages. It's not that long. It's fantastic. Fantastic book. I mean, like, one, I think I underplayed the importance of contradictions within the Soviet Union. You know, I think I like to blame it all on the external, and I do think the internal played an important role. You know, I mean, like, as Mao says, right, the external can only play a role insofar as the internal is decisive, right? Like, you can heat a rock, but it will never hatch in the same way that an egg will, right?
Today, communists are often stereotyped as lazy, good-for-nothing white college students who want nothing to do with their lives. Of course, this is all nonsense. Communists can come from any
White.
in all backgrounds and are used
Ugh, God. I fuck with the CPP and the Naxalites for real. Although I think the Naxalites are undergoing a period of very extreme repression right now. I think there's definitely a bit of nuance here that I skip over, right? Like, the big reason a lot of Russians, you know, want the Soviet Union back is because, you know, I mean, quite frankly, their geopolitical power diminished as a result of the collapse, right? I mean, it's not really an ideological commitment to the USSR or the Soviet Union or to Marxism, Leninism, right? I mean, it's very much a nostalgia for the time they were a global superpower and nationalism. So, you know, there's a bit of nuance that I kind of gloss over in the video for the sake of simplicity, I guess.
just to note,
You know, I love me quoting random Russian boomers. You know, people, you know, this was quoted on BreadTube. You know, people on the video, I posted it on BreadTube, and people really had a problem with this. They were like, wow, I can't believe you. And I'm like, girl.
after country.
So, I mean, there's a little bit more nuance to that, right? I mean, even the article I quoted, right? It said 7 of 11, right? I mean, it's not unanimous, right? I think, especially in Eastern Europe, there's mixed feelings about communism and the communist era. And it's a little bit more mixed than I portray in the video. I think what is important, though, is that, you know, some of these countries, you know, you would think if, you know, communism is so bad, they would never want to return, right? There would be no nostalgia for this era, right? But I mean, it is, you know, there was a mixed period. There's mixed polling on a lot of this issue. And even, you know, the imperfect manifestation of communism that occurred in Eastern Europe, you know, I mean, some of them were pretty, you know, I mean, Ceausescu, good lord with Ceausescu. But, you know, even with the imperfections of communism in Eastern Europe, you know, people still miss some aspects of it.
Yes, you there. What is survivorship bias?
Well, I want you to appreciate the set I made here for Jeopardy, right? We have Garfield, $69. We have me, Spook, Socialist guys. That pun though, $420, and of course my boy Stalin with $1917. Okay, so my big regret with this video is I put "Comrade by Your Name" in the background. Oh, a comment said the title should have been "Call Me by Your Name." And I'm like, oh, bro, how did I not think of that pun?
You foolish commie. Have you ever considered Vuvuzuela? There it is.
Banger, 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 banger. Like, goddamn, Sans Fortnite dance? That's like the 5th Fortnite joke. I love this little guy. I love this little guy. Like, he's such a goofy little guy. You know, like Sans, anarcho-capitalist, furry, logic hammer. You know, I even put him in my latest video because I'm like, I miss this guy. I miss this guy a lot. What about the DPRK? By the way, y'all keep asking about that. And this is my same answer. That's for a later video. Wasn't that furry an actual YouTuber? I don't know. It might be. It might be a YouTuber. It was like a meme or something. It was like a meme that was floating around. I'm like, it would be really funny to make him a character in a video. So he might be. But it might be like a parody of like general anarcho-communist YouTubers.
Will support the Bolivarian Revolution, Chavez, and the democratically elected Maduro over the US-backed attempted coup. In fact, they probably supported more.
I mean, isn't this kind of like how we come full circle, guys? Like, I don't know if y'all have seen, but like, there's warships around Venezuela now. You know, it's like there might be another imperialist fucking intervention there. You know, and it's like, really? Wait, what? The fucking anarcho-communist guy exists? Esoteric entity? What the fuck? He's real? I thought it was a meme. Yeah, I mean, like, isn't it ironic how, like, you know, Trump won, they were trying to overthrow Venezuela's government, and, you know, Trump too, they're doing it again. It's like, guys, really?
Story broke out about Venezuelans burning aid. It was immediately called out as fake by people with a strange ability called critical thinking. It wasn't until weeks later that the failing New York Times finally published a piece revealing that, yes, the footage probably wasn't real.
The tankies are right, yet again. And, you know, it's like, this really does show how shit never fucking ends. Because, like, how many fucking news stories are there of, like, Hamas is stealing aid, and it's like, none of it is true. None of it is true. It's just an excuse to fucking do genocide in Gaza. And it's like the mainstream media fucking literally has nothing creative to do. You know, they're just lapdogs of imperialism. You know, lapdogs of genocide at this point. It's just really gross and disgusting. How things never really end, you know?
It's easy to debunk.
Okay. I think we finished the brunt of the arguments. I can reflect a little bit on it. You know, we're more in the reflective period, right? I mean, I think I did a decent job. You know, obviously I didn't go as much into the nuances of things as I wish I could have. I think I made a few, like, some points actually made me cringe. Like, I think the paper shit made me cringe, and I think, you know, the breadline stuff was like, okay, that's not a very good point. I think in general it holds up though. I think like maybe 85-90% of the video still holds up, even though it's like dated by 5 years. And I mean, the fact is, and I say this again and again, the video was made for normies, right? It was made for people who don't really know that much about anything. All they know is like the general ideology, and, you know, at least for normies, I presented a general counter argument, you know, which they may not have heard before, but at least now they get to hear it. And so I think the video accomplished what it was meant to accomplish. I think, you know, that's shown very much in like how many people have watched it for some reason. And I think I did it in a way that's accessible. I think, you know, I saw a Reddit comment a long time ago. I was like, there's too many memes, there's too many jokes, there's too many unserious bits. But I'm like, you know, it's like, the people who are meant to click on this video aren't already dedicated ideologues, right? These are just people who click on a silly looking video and who see the clickbait title and are like, I'm interested in this. Let me see what they have to say. And, you know, if it's just a boring video essay diatribe of me just yapping for 40, 50 minutes, you know, I was going to click on that. Versus, you know, the memes and jokes.
As we know, anything that can't be proven false isn't scientific.
Yes, let's go. Read Engels. Read Socialism, Utopian, and Scientific. It's such a great book. Really is a great book. Very short, very digestible. If you can, read it with the Red Menace episode that digests it. You know, Red Menace is a great supplementary to reading theory. They have very interesting commentary in terms of how it applies to actual organizing.
Fisher's book, Capitalist Realism, he discusses a widespread condition that...
You know, people have a lot of mixed feelings on capitalist realism. People are like, this is like a baby leftist book. And it's like, yeah, it's supposed to be a baby leftist book. I think it's fine. It's like, what, 100 pages? It's so short and digestible.
As with all realities, it's not the full story. It's entirely possible to eliminate poverty, famine, and war. In fact, we're well able to do it right now.
God damn. This shit's inspiring me, man. I'm inspired by myself. I'm like, you know, East Germany in the background, you know, talking about ending poverty, famine, and war. I mean, and it is true. I mean, absolutely, these things are man-made problems, you know, man-made through the social economic systems, you know, that are organized by capitalism. And they're absolutely defeatable and overcomable. You know, like I'm reminded of that like one Elon Musk shit where he's like, you know, I will give $50 billion if you can show me how I can end world hunger with that money. You know, if you can show me proof how $50 billion will end world hunger, I will give it. And then, you know, when Org was like, here's the report on how the money you can give can end world hunger. And Elon Musk just ignored that shit.
Capitalism's need for ever-growing markets and infinite resources has depleted our planet and brings us ever closer to environmental catastrophe, breaking apart the notion that capitalism is the best system we have.
Holy fuck. I mean, I touched on a little bit, but like, good lord. Climate change has gotten so bad. Guys, unironically, climate change is horrific. Like, we're past 1.5 degrees Celsius of warming from pre-industrial times. Like, it's looking like 4 degrees Celsius by the end of the century. Like, we are fucked. And like, I originally was going to make a video on climate change. I like watched 1 billion climate change documentaries. In fact, if you go to my letterbox, you can see I have a ranking of climate change documentaries. But like just watching all that shit, reading a lot of books on climate change. I think The Uninhabitable Earth was what I read, and I read a couple other books, but you know, like good lord. Just awful. Like capitalism has really fucked us. It's really fucked us. Like it's the core contradiction of capitalism, right? Infinite expansion on a finite planet, and we do not have infinite resources for infinite expansion, you know? And I mean, it really is hilarious that like, you know, we have abundance bros who are attacking the idea of degrowth as if like one, degrowth is a mainstream ideology, and two, as if degrowth isn't vitally necessary to survive on a finite planet.
Capitalism is literally going to destroy the entire planet, and we have very little time to do anything about it. We have to realize that capitalism is not natural. It is literally killing us and the world we inhabit. We must achieve an alternative, or it will drag humanity and the planet down with it.
Yeah, I still agree with that. You know, I mean, it's 5 years later, and things are really bad, guys. You know, I mean, it's always been bad. Alright, but things are getting pretty bad. Things are getting pretty bad. Happy 5 years. Happy 5 years to me.
You foolish mortal! This video is the epitome of whataboutism, straw man policies, and ad attacks. We live in a society, Venezuela, iPhones, animal farm, human nature.
Wait a second.
Hey, no, don't touch me!
Porky, I knew it was you all along. And I could have gone away with it too if it weren't for you meddling commies. Take him away, NKVD.
Thank you, sir, and please be on the lookout for any more counter-revolutionary activity.
You know, I'm like, should I bring back the lore aspect of the videos? You know, I kind of like the fact that I had like an overarching character of like the Wojak brain guy, and then he was unmasked to be the piggy bourgeoisie or whatever, and you know he gets arrested and thrown in prison. In fact, spoiler alert, that was gonna be my build off for part 2. You know, we were gonna continue with Porky in jail, and then he leads a breakout of of the Austrian School of Economics.
How many times have you ever complained to this anti-communist speaker that they were being biased against communism?
I mean, like, literally, I think I took this from a Parenti talk, right? Where someone just yelled at Parenti, being like, you're biased, you're biased, you're biased. And Parenti's like, okay, have you ever called out bias in any other context in terms of being biased against communism? I mean, no. Let me read this comment out. This video reeks of liberalism. It's naive to believe that arguments, debates, and facts can win people over in this post-Trump world. Please read some Lenin. Twink. Also, you're really hot and cool. Thank you to fake comment I made up to myself because I love complimenting myself.
I mean, before I became the plucky communist I am now, I was just another person spouting off these exact anti-communist talking points.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much how everyone starts, right? I think that's why I'm not as cringy on this video as I am with like other videos of mine, namely the Stalin one, right? It's like the video is very introductory, right? It doesn't really espouse a particular ideology other than, general defense of historical examples of socialist and communist states. But, it's meant to be an introductory viewpoint. And I think it does the job fine. 5 years it holds up. Oh my god, we finished. Well, there's still the end card. I might do a little bit of commentary on what I recommend in the end card because, good lord, that does need a little bit of commentary. But overall, 3 hours of streaming later, I feel with socialism we spend too much. We'd be too spent to do something about climate change. No. I think it's important to think about climate change in terms of dialectically, right? It's like we're not doomed, right? The effects of climate change very much are on a spectrum, right? Like quite literally, right? Like 4 degrees versus 5 degrees versus 6 degrees of warming by the end of the century. I mean, the difference is very huge, right? And I think it's important not to fall to climate doomerism, right? Because we can, even if things are bad, we can always prevent things from getting worse, right? And so it's important to think about it in terms of a spectrum, right? Like as bad as things are, we should prevent the worst and the worser outcomes from happening. So sorry if I sound really tired. It's 3 a.m. I've been editing for like 3 hours. Like I was just so sick of working on this video for 2 years at this I was so sick of working on this video for 2 years at this point. I was like, fuck it. I went on like animating mode for like a week straight just to get the last 10-15 minutes of the video done. And at that point I was like, I just want the video out. And so I just recorded this end card. That's why I sound really fucking tired, because I'm like, fuck, I want this video out. I'm tired. It's been 2 years since I posted. And also I had like 5,000, 2,000 subscribers at this point. So I was like, fuck, let me just get this out. I don't even know if it's going to be a hit. I don't know if anyone's going to watch it. And you know what? People did. So thank you all for watching it.
If you have any further questions, feel free to put them in the comments. They're also...
Put them in the comments? What the fuck am I talking about? Okay. I read the comments for the first... Like, even I was a tiny channel. I had like maybe a few thousand subscribers max, and I read the comments for the first 2-3 weeks, and I'm gonna be real with you, there was like maybe 1 or 2 really thoughtful comments from people who were like lived in Eastern Europe and could pull on their experience, and for the most part a lot of it was like slop. But I stopped reading the comments a long time ago, and I'm like just gonna scroll down here. Like I'm still in shock. Like people are still fucking fighting in these comments. Like there's 60,000 comments. Like look, the top comment has 400 replies. Thank you for fighting in the comments. You boost the video's engagement, I guess. But no, I'm not reading that shit. If you have been commenting under my video, thank you for your service. I appreciate your service and I salute you. You can't see me saluting right now because I am a VTuber, but I am saluting you. You can tell this is so Reddit. This is so fucking Reddit, guys.
There are good resources out there. Red Menace and Mark's Madness are...
I still fuck with Red Menace and Mark's Madness. They're great podcasts. Mark's Madness, though, has been like... They really deep dive into books. Like, they have like 15 bajillion episodes on the books.
They're great podcasts for learning communist theory. Rev Left Radio is also good for learning about...
100%. 100%. Rev Left Radio is so good. They're such a good podcast. 100%. I fuck with Brett. Brett is awesome. Oh my god. Wow. Okay, so Hakeem still posts. In fact, they had a voice over in my latest video. Halim, gone channel, doesn't exist. Well, it doesn't post anymore. There's updates on them if you care enough to follow, but I will not elaborate on that. Azure, I don't know if Azure posts anymore, quite frankly. I don't know if Azure posts anymore. Thought Slime still posts.
Every video now about my upload schedule.
I have apologized now in every video for my upload schedule. And I did that too in my last video. I did, wow.
And at this point, it's probably not going to get any better. Still, I'm really sorry that this one is late by 2 years.
I'm sorry this one is late by 2 years. Girl, try 5. Try 5.
Second channel to post memes, extra content, and other things.
Oh my god, guys! A second channel? Oh my god, it's almost like you're on my second channel right now and you should subscribe! And thank you for being on the stream, and the highlights will be posted later for people who missed the stream. But overall, my thoughts on the video? I think 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. You know, I cringe a little bit. You know, some of the art, some of the jokes, very aged, but overall, I think it's a very evergreen video. You know, share it to your mom, share it to your dad, share it to your grandchildren, share it with your son and daughter, and thems. I appreciate everyone who's watched the video. It's not public right now, but the dislike to like ratio is about 70%. So there's 70% likes to 30% dislikes, which quite frankly is astonishing to me that so many people like liked a video with over 1,900,000 views about communism, like explicitly defending communism, and you know, not even in a watered down way, but in a way that like directly addressed the issue. And I've had a lot of people, you know, comment and message me over the years that, you know, the video helped radicalize them or push them in a direction that helped them. And so, I mean, that has really meant a lot to me. So thank you to everyone who's messaged me that. You know, it's been 5 years, but you know, I've seen almost every single one of the messages, and I appreciate the support. And hopefully, I mean, I will be here to stay. You know, I mean, if YouTube doesn't work, then maybe not. But I'll keep trying for as long as I can make videos, at least until I'm sucked out of the ether.